Hey Hayden, thank you for choosing Surf Pro Techniques. My name is Chapin and I'll be your surf consultant today. It was great speaking with you the other day. I got a good idea for what you're trying to accomplish and the different kind of goals that you set for yourself. When we spoke, you said the two main things you were trying to work on were doing more vertical turns and catching bigger waves. Based on the footage that you sent, I have no doubt that will get you doing more vertical turns, and I'll give you a few things to think about when you are trying to push yourself into bigger waves. So let's get started, and we'll start right off the bat with doing more vertical turns. Now, doing vertical turns consists of three key components. First being your ability to get your foot as far back on the surfboard as possible. Second, doing a good bottom turn. And third, choosing the correct section to attempt a vertical turn. Now, here you do a good job of getting to your feet, but what I really want you to remember from here on out is to keep your chest and chin up, especially your chin, and keep your eyes focused about 20 feet down the line. This technique is really going to help develop your pop-up because your pop-up sets the foundation for all the maneuvers that come after you stand up. Let's quickly take a look at how Owen Wright pops up. Focus on his chest, his chin. They're both up, and his eyes are focused in the direction that he wants to go. So keep that in mind from now on, and now let's move on to your bottom turn. In this photo, your bottom turn is excellent, and I'll show you why using two examples, one Mick Fanning and one Tom Curran. Here, Mick is bending his knees deep into this bottom turn. Take a look at his back right knee and how it dips forward towards the front of his surfboard. Notice how far back his back foot is on the surfboard. Take a look at his eyes and the direction that he's focusing on going. And really important, take a look at his left arm. Notice how it's on the outside of his left knee. Now compare that to the master Tom Curran. His back knee is bent deeply towards his front. His eyes are focused in the direction he wants to go. His left arm is on the outside of his left knee. His foot isn't as far back because he's on a bigger board and going to execute a different type of maneuver. He might not be trying to go vertical. These are the key techniques that your bottom turn already has. The only thing that it's missing at times is getting that foot a lot farther back and becoming comfortable with moving it up and back when you're preparing for a turn or preparing just to get speed. Now, picking that correct section to go vertical is also going to be really important. On this wave, as you go down the line, you choose below your fins out here, which is fine. You executed this maneuver perfectly. However, if you did want to go vertical, you'd have to hit that lip just behind your back. And to do that, you'd have to do what we just spoke about, getting that foot farther back on your surfboard and starting your bottom turn a little earlier. Check out how Eli sets up his turn here. He bends deeply into his bottom turn, steps his foot back on the surfboard. His eyes are focused in the direction he wants to go, and his left arm remains on the outside of his left knee. And it's not a vertical turn, but his technique is absolutely flawless in the way he executes this turn. So I think it'd be good to watch Eli on YouTube, turn off the sound, and just watch his body mechanics. Since you're both the same age, about the same height, I think you could learn a lot from just watching how he does certain things. I know sometimes at your age it feels unnatural to learn from somebody who's also the same age as you, but Eli does things in a way that I think you're also capable of doing them, and he's the same height and the same weight, so there's no reason that you can't be doing these types of maneuvers either. The only difference between you and Eli at this point is the fact that he surfs way more than you, and it's just going to take getting in the water more and practicing. Now I'd like to talk about your second goal of catching bigger waves. You had said that the last time you were in Hawaii and you were trying to surf bigger waves, you were still riding your shortboard. It is really important when you are trying to push yourself into bigger waves to give yourself the best opportunity by putting yourself on the correct equipment for catching bigger waves. Now, the type of board you choose will be up to you, but it is important that you get yourself on something a little bit bigger than a normal shortboard, something a little longer and with a little bit more foam. This is going to give you the paddle power, that extra little bit of speed that you're going to need to catch a bigger wave. So talk to your shaper and he'll give you a good idea of the type of board, the type of tail, and just the overall best board to be on for catching those bigger waves that you're actually looking for. Now there's a psychological aspect to catching bigger waves that I want to get into now. And I'm not advocating that you should ever put yourself in a dangerous situation or something you're uncomfortable with. But if you are interested in catching bigger waves, you're going to have to push yourself farther than you might be comfortable with sometimes. In all of us, there's a survival mechanism that tells us when to push and when to pull back based on the stimuli in front of us. So if your instincts are telling you that you might not make this wave, it's going to tell you to pull back. Now, this survival instinct is in all of us, and it doesn't matter if you're just starting surfing or you're Shane Dorian, who's surfing some of the biggest waves in the world. We all have it, and you will continue to have it as you continue to grow and develop and push yourself farther and farther into bigger waves, into bigger maneuvers, into anything that you weren't naturally used to doing. What will happen when you do start paddling into bigger waves is that survival mechanism is going to kick in and tell you to stop paddling. And you're going to have to ignore it and paddle more, at least 3 to 4 times more. This is not an exact science. Sometimes all you need is 1 to 2 more paddles. But everybody needs to paddle a little bit more when they're pushing themselves past their comfort zone. I'm going to send you a few links of videos I'd like you to watch. But in summary, remember that you're going to need to be on the right equipment when you're surfing bigger waves. You're going to need to push yourself. And you're also going to need to be physically prepared and mentally and emotionally prepared so that when you do paddle out, you're confident. You never should put yourself in a situation that you're uncomfortable with or not confident that you can handle. That's the first mistake people make when they're trying to surf bigger waves. So stay focused and get yourself on the right equipment, get prepared physically and mentally, and get out there and push yourself. Thank you, Hayden, for choosing Surf Pro Techniques. It's been a pleasure working with you, and I look forward to hearing from you and how you're progressing.